welcome to the Do It All Dad Year podcast, dad-friendly entertainment for you and me, what Gen X parents understand, controlling our kids with comedy, can make our kids great again. My 3 fuss-free children as a whole are living proof of it, and this is episode 112, my Millennial Mouseketeer generation. But that doesn't make any sense. You're Gen X. Hear the jokes. I know we'll fill in the blanks. It's me at the pizzeria. Do it all, Dad. Do you think Durant will go down as the most tragic victim of cyberbullying of all time? Playing for Brooklyn and Lena Dunham country would be such a KD move. He thinks he's the voice for the Millennial Mouseketeer generation. Pizza manager laughs long time. Can I get a holla for a mouthful tsunami of back-to-back-to-back hilarity punchline driven A+1 lettering across the board? Holla! Not an Ottawa today, I promise. Holla! My wife insists I'm always a mess off the Adderall, but I don't think it makes a difference. Holla! Since when should I give a shit about what Andre Iguodala... Let's do that again! Since when should I give a shit about what Andre Iguodala says about anything? He was a 6th man on the most loaded guard team of all time, who came up big. So did Robert Horry. But I'm not clamoring for his book on his blah brain personality either. He wears a suit well. Congratulations! You don't look like you're strangling yourself to death like Shaquille O'Neal. You figure the guy could afford a tailor to make him, less uptight than, John Podesta at a pizza comment party with Hannity and friends and having a live mic there to record their latest art kiddie porn installation display that would make Marilyn Manson blush. If Michael Jackson were alive, what would his defense be? All the Beatles royalty points in the world can't buy me love? Fake news and hate speech is how Trump won Google. I thought it was because more than half of America really hated Hillary Hammertime Cankles. Happy doodling. Leaked Google Docs label Jordan Peterson a Nazi. I just thought he was anal about using the most exacting language possible to describe groupthink and slave Twitter twats addicted to latching on to fake news moral as grandstanding. Google exec. It's my impersonation of a Google exec in charge of digital well-being, defending herself on Medium for stating Google nation's hurt feelings for Hummellecker breath losing. We can't let this happen again. We've got Chinese overlords on our board of directors to answer to. I think Marco Rubio is hot. Ah! Dice. The Dice Man and Roseanne are launching a Mr. and Mrs. America comedy tour. This is Dice. Ivanka went a Motley Crue to play their dad's inauguration because of Tommy Lee's snake in his pants. Jared Kushner, please. My Hebrew hammer can't compete. Trump has ties to Russia, duh. Most mail-order bright owners do. Oh, what I love to give Melania a bang. Michelle Obama naked. Meatbag boner gone. Can I get a holla? For some old school Ford Fairlane referencing action, gold fantastic gala. Why do Trump and Melania sleep in separate beds? Does Donald need to put his meat bag on ice from breaking off his joystick and Melania's muff mitt or what? Can I get another holla? For some, I like to bury some of my holla into some Melania's muff mitt. Holla! For the record, Valerie Jarrett does live with Obama. Obama is. She did author the new gifting Iran deal. So double down, Roseanne, and insist that horse-faced wench Valerie Jarrett is Obama's Arabian horse whisperer on Fox News. I'd bang you again with the lights on. Because I'm a nice guy. Roseanne, how did you get so bangable all of a sudden? Is it your tan jugs, the blonde highlights, or the thought of you turning Tom Arnold into a fat resistor lesbian? Can I get a holla for some Tom Arnold dumpage? Holla! They still show Cosby Show ads on TV land after commercials for Ambien in heavy rotation. But Roseanne's show got canceled for a tweet. That makes sense. The Women's March on Washington, all I saw was a whole lot of rosies sporting a whole lot of chins. I get fudge. I also thought, talk about spreading your pussy had supply then. Did you see the eye patch on Madonna that she's wearing these days? Did Jose Canseco drop a hot load in her eye for old time's sake? Or is his aim not what it used to be? Off the juice? How blown up does Madonna's snatch look by now? I bet it looks like a camel toed onto a landmine into the occupied territory. Oh, I can't take no more. Thank you very much. I understand my Dice impersonation there got very weird when I would do the holla act out, and when I started sounding way too much like myself and would lose the Italian Bensonhurst Italian hued accent from the Dice Men altogether. But thanks for bearing with me. It's a conversation I had with my plumber. I'm pitching my book. I'm doing jokes. And he says, telling him about controlling my kids with comedy. A love story. He says, tell him about my new book coming out Independence Day. Do It All Dad Does Jokes. Plumber says, my wife still likes Hillary also. Maybe your book can convince her otherwise. And I said, it can make your sex life above average again. Am I the only person who doesn't give a shit about sanctioning the foreign minister of Iran? Iran has less goodwill in the bank than Suge Knight. I want Kerry thrown in cuffs while windsurfing in the Cape this summer for sedition now. Memo to Nicholas Kristof, writes for the New York Times. Obama solved the nuclear crisis by nuke gifting Iran $150 billion and putting the kibosh on Hezbollah's money laundering drug stingray because he didn't want to disrupt his precious deal at the last sec. Got it, Mullah lover you. Obama was seen in a boat in Italy with George Clooney. It wasn't a banana boat float like the one Mello was on with Chris Paul and LeBron. Still, how does Obama not feel like a second banana in this instance? At least Clooney did something of merit to win a prize. Andy Richter, you know, the unfunny fat toad designed to make Conan come off as magnanimous. I totally didn't say that word right. Yeah, so that hack accuses all evangelicals as full of shit for supporting Trump. Thank God you have a career in showbiz at all, you dumpy, drollish, zero-stage presence parasite. Your boss wrote for The Simpsons with 25 other writers. We got it. Isn't there an unwritten man code that says, barber shall not touch your fucking eyebrows in the midst of a beard trim unless specified? Even if I'm a unibrow Siamese twin who could use some personalized hubba winkle for my own flirtation game. This is me, Do It All Dad, putting my foot down. Addressing my daughter. She is now officially done with the second grade. She's now third grade bound. Here we go. Do old dad putting his foot down. I can't handle Kobe asking you to write something in his yearbook. He's the best athlete in class. Her self-proclaimed boyfriend. I can't handle Kobe asking you to write something in his yearbook. You belong to me and your two brothers for the indefinite future. I'm happy for you. Younger brother blurts out, I'm not happy for you. Art Show USA. Delivering the killer ad-libs as usual. When your wife voices concerns about rat infestations and drowning of your kids because of your own doing, you don't regret voicing concerns of your wife boring your kids to death in your debt book without your steadying presence around as much. This is the Do It All Dad Year podcast. What Gen X parents understand, controlling our kids with comedy can make our kids great again. Controlling My Kids, a Comedy, a love story. Now available. Amazon, Kobo, Barnes & Noble. Do It All Dad Does Jokes. Out Independence Day. Aerosmith is on the horizon. Can't wait to tell you about that. That will be in Vegas. I'm also going to be seeing Rat and Ace Frehley at the Westchester County Center. I'll be going to that show with my good friend Dave, and I'll be seeing Aerosmith with my good friend Jay. They have been true brothers in arms. They have been supportive of me writing these books. They've been supportive of the podcast. They've listened to the podcast, and they've always been big believers in me. So I love you guys, and it means the world to me that you've come into my life, and that you're reflective of friends that came into my life when I started to develop my own sort of mojo and personality, devoid from the nervous wreck, jerk off, anxiety-ridden putz that I was in high school. Not that I was a complete loser, but it's nice to not always be held hostage to past labels and impressions. But at the same time, I've grown a lot since I met both of them. I mean, who am I kidding? I wasn't that involved in college when I met Dave at Ithaca, otherwise known as Cornell's retarded next door neighbor. And I'm not going to act like I was so involved when I met Jay, working for Adam Jacob and Associates, cold calling my brains out for an IT staffing company, a boutique company, which basically just means small and unheard of, with no brand name recognition. So every call is a cold call. I was going to do a fight with Jay that first day, because I had another blood draining conversation with my ex. And he basically was giving the size why are you in this relationship? I was insisting my boss fire him that day. It was totally out of control. But Jay, I love you. Dave, I love you. Do It All Dad Nation, I love you. My children, I love you long time. And these books are for you. Farmer Todd at Harvest Moon, I love you too. He asked me what's up today. Told him about the book. Started Googling me. Found the podcast, found the book, found the Good Man Project stuff. Good Man Project, I even love you guys today too, even though you decided to take down my awesome chapter, Disorder in the Dollhouse, without giving me a heads up. But it's the first chapter in Do It All Dad Does Jokes, so it's a nice sweet vindication, and it's a perfect place for it. And you guys don't take it down, I don't use that opener. So thank you. Good Man Project. And I also just want to give one last shout out to Paul Stonek, who's been a great bud. No, I met Paul in my life. He became a friend when I was more established. I had my TV writing break in Manhattan, but that still wasn't enough. I had to go back to headhunting, or my wife would have left me. This is after I'd pitched my pilot to the head of VH1 Classic, and things didn't work out. I thought at the very least I would secure a blogging job. Did not work out. But one thing leads to another, people, and good things will emerge from these books. And I already have my concept for book number 3. Do It All Dad does food sketch comedy. And it's all going to start this summer, folks, with the Do It All Dad YouTube channel presenting the Pescatarian Comedians. Food sketch comedy, so bit by bit. And the debut pilot episode, Bad Boy, Soy Boy, something to look forward to. It's going to turn heads, cause lots of noise, and we're going over lines of my son. And my goal basically this summer is to dunk a basketball, I'm off the beer, conquer the Adderall, and to make Pescatarian Comedians a major success. But my major drive behind that, figure I could get like a TED Talk out of this, is like my son, he suffers from motor mouth disease. He talks too fast, but he's a brilliant expressionist. But he can be hard to understand. Very smart, very artistic kid. So apparently there's this sort of speech teacher that has to use, I'm not going to call them metal prongs. I don't know what they are exactly, but starting next year, basically some teacher's going to be sticking fucking metal objects in his mouth to stimulate certain muscles that haven't been stimulated yet. So my goal this summer is to do everything in my power to prevent that from happening. And at this time, at Matilda's age, we were doing commercials for a stand-up staffer. I've been talent looking since Y2K. That was my creative tech staffing company. We got compliments from Rev Bob Levy. I got very positive interactions with Richard Lewis. I remember reading some personalized messages from Richard Lewis. My dad started sulking into a ball. I said, Dad, what's wrong? It's like, I'm tired. I said, what? Tired of what? Being an asshole? And she totally set up for the occasion, and I know Arthur's going to do that too, and it's going to do wonders for his self-esteem. We're going to get them swimming this summer, and I am so excited for what this summer holds, and for proving to my children that the best way to lead is by example, and to show that it's never too late to replace bad habits with good habits. And I also want to prove to my children that dreams are great, but having goals is about actually the process of turning those dreams into reality. So let's make it rain. Make the world feel our presence. Teach the world how controlling our kids' economy can make our kids great again by actually involving them in the comedy creation magic. Now I understand we all don't have the time or the willpower or let's say the ability, but I do want to empower other dads that do watch the show to spend some more time with their children in the kitchen, because let's be honest, there's no do-it-all dad friendly venues these days, okay? So so especially during the summertime, okay, where we can enjoy the barbecue. So I'm gonna throw in some little doses of like food sketch comedy history, stuff that you can really enjoy with the family. I'm not relying on F-bombs like Eddie Murphy, yet I'm going to deliver more personable edge than anything you're going to see from Jim Gaffigan. So I think it's in your best interest to check it out. And these videos are going to be fantastic. It's something that I need to do for myself. These past 2 years, I proved that, okay, I could deliver the punchline. I could take a topic, wrap it into a joke, express a point of view, boom, bam, thank you very much. But what I really want to focus this summer is I really want to showcase my imagination in terms of stories. My goal forever was to write TV spec scripts and pilots. I've done them before. I've mentioned some of my credits before. But Rapewood, Clint Eastwood Country, it's just not a reality right now. However, I don't want that to be a cop-out. Not everyone there is a resistor. And I want to prove my ability to make the best of what's around and get high off the infinite, beautiful magic of my children, because I love my Kiss Army, and they were made for loving me. You guys have been a gift for everyone that has showed interest in this podcast, and I love you all for it. Have a wonderful weekend. And if you have children, I highly recommend asking Alexa today to play School's Out for Summer! School's out forever! School's been blown to pieces! And then squeeze in a oney for this do-it-all dad once your kids are asleep, and watch some Days of Confused for me. And I'll talk to you guys soon.